Hello there. So this bike has been locked to my fence for a really long time, and as you can see, we're inside my area. Doesn't belong to any of the neighbours, so we've got a solution for it. Yeah. And so there we go. There we go. So after a month of training and racing and getting up early and going on road trips and dealing with all sorts of nonsense, I felt like Kayla deserved a bit of a breakaway. So we're in the Dominican Republic. Yay! So I've done 4 proper races now.
You're holding a 5 hand.
Oh yeah. So I've done 4 races now. First one was one of the Castelli series in Prospect Park, and it's pretty brutal. They start off at like 5:45 or 6 o'clock in the morning, which is way earlier than I'm used to being up unless I'm still out. But it was a lot of fun. The Cat 5 field was pretty friendly. Got chatting to a bunch of people. And being in Cat 5, people aren't really trying all that hard. I think one of the weirdest things for my first kind of tight circuit race was that no one really wants to get started, no one really wants to put any effort in, and everyone's kind of waiting for someone else to do all the work. So I made the massive mistake of basically thinking, why is everyone going so slow, and throwing myself in at the front like an idiot. And even when I realised that was what was happening, it's quite hard to navigate the pack. I've been in packs loads of times when it's all my friends and you can just ask people, you know, can I get in, can I get out? And people are totally fine with it. But when people aren't really working together, it's a much different thing. So a few times I got stuck inside the pack, and I'd see a bunch of faster riders going around the outside, and I couldn't join them because I was trapped on both sides. And sometimes I'd escape and get a little bit faster towards the front, and I couldn't break back in. Since then, someone's pointed out that racers will ask to get into the pack, and if that doesn't work, they just give a fucking shoulder barge, which sounds terrifying. I'm not going to shoulder barge races, but no, that was some older, more pro people, and maybe I'll get there at some point. Not to make too many excuses, I'm not as fit or as fast or as experienced as any of them, but I'm learning. But terribly, I think I did 25th out of 35, which is a bit slow, but not at the back. So I was either at the front or the top 5 for the entire damn race, and then right at the end, coming up the last hill in Prospect Park, everyone sprinted, and I've been riding way faster than my average for a really long time. So I was completely unprepared for any sort of sprint, and we'd been doing like 22 to 24 miles an hour the entire time. I'm usually averaging more like 20, so doing 22 to 24 was nuts. And then right at the end, everyone just opened up and flew away, and I was just seeing people, like the whole field just went for it. So I'm going to practice doing 5 laps at top speed and then somehow going faster than top speed at the end to get ready for that again. So the second one, Purgatory. Purgatory was nuts. Kayla and I drove all the way off to, where was it, Sutton, Massachusetts, and got ourselves in a little hotel the night before, ready for the ride in the morning. It was the first race that started at what I thought was a reasonable time. It turned out to be the biggest problem. Instead of starting at 6 a.m. and meaning I had to get up at 4 or 5, it started at like 11:45 somewhere, and it meant that we were racing in the middle of the midday heat. Humidity was like 80%. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was definitely hot as balls. I had 2 bottles of water, and I got rid of them in the first lap. I ran out of water in the first lap of 3, and I couldn't breathe. The humidity was insane. So I'll give you some tips. If, like me, you've got a slightly deviated septum or a broken nose, then you end up mouth breathing. And mouth breathing in the heat, when you're working that hard, really makes you thirsty and fucks you up. So get yourself a nasal turbine, or a nasal dilator, they're called. It's basically just a bit of plastic, just shove it up your nose and it pulls it out so that you can breathe proper, and that stops you mouth breathing. So based on extreme heat, not being able to breathe out my mouth, out my nose, and I had some mechanical issues as well. Someone gave me these cute little, really lightweight skewers for my bike, and they made out of carbon. They weigh nothing, but every now and then, if the wheel takes a bit of a knock, the wheel kind of gets a little bit loose. So going down this massive hill with people flying everywhere, it was a really uneven road, people all over the goddamn shop. I started to get really worried that my wheel had come loose because I got a few knocks, and I had to basically stop and check my wheel, and the whole pack just fucked off. So after that I was desperately trying to cling on to the back, and there was a few of us mouth breathers all at the back, all having a chat about how tired and thirsty we were. So that one really sucked. And I bumped into Kayla at the end of the first lap, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Didn't finish the race, first DNF, and it was kind of crushing. Someone pointed out I should have just like slowly looped around and got my point. And I think if there's races, they don't actually sweep you off the back, so you can totally just slowly ride around and pick up your point. But the third one, I did a CRCA race clinic, which is for new members to the CRCA. It's kind of a club in New York, and they let you come along and race. It's like a real race, but they have marshals everywhere giving people advice and watching out, and that gives you 2 race points. And I thought people would take it like a bit of a joke, just there to pick up their point and to ride, but everyone really wanted to win. It was a really aggressive pack. We stayed in good racing formation, and everyone was really going for it, and we did 3 laps of Central Park, but we had to get pulled over at one point for an accident. So on the very last lap, just before towards the end, we all get pushed over to the side, and we're doing like, I don't know, 10 miles an hour, just kind of rolling along, and everyone was meant to hold their position, but they didn't. The bastards just overtook everyone, and I was the only person. I was right next to a marshal, so I was trying to like follow the rules, and everyone else just overtook. So I went from the front to the back, which sucked. And then we had half a lap left, and so I smashed it as hard as I could, got pretty much to the front of the pack, and then right on the very last climb before the up cat's paw, before the finish, fucking douchebag just came straight across my line, 45-degree angle, no hint, no warning, no nothing, just straight across, made me jam on my brakes, and then the whole goddamn pack just flew off without me. So from these first 3 races, there was one more, but I'll talk about that next time, because I got some footage of it that's not in Dominican Republic. But the first 3 races, basically I got to focus on positioning, breaking in and out of the pack, not going too hard at the start and letting other people get tired, or being bored and just thinking, fuck it, I'll go up there then. And look out for squirreling douchebags. I know the team that this douchebag rides for, and most of them I've seen so far are dangerous douchebags. So anyone with that jersey on, I'm just going to avoid like the plague. And yeah, make sure I've always got a dilator and enough water. Those are my race tips for now, and I'm going to keep on trying. Got another race as soon as I get back from Dominican Republic, so I've got to stop eating these all-inclusive buffets non-stop. Bye.